Yeah, none of your business. Absolutely. Yeah, yeah, I've heard that. Oh, sure. Snopes. Yep. Yes. Well, David, I don't mean to cut you off, but 2 weeks ago I was supposed to go live and did it last week, and I go live in 3 minutes. Well, that's fine. You were never at the FCM when Len Camp did his flash paper bit, were you? Uh, well, I can see that. You take care. Bye bye. All right. He forgot what day it was. And you'll notice I turned the speaker off so nobody can say I'm doing sneaky, untoward things. Are you still there, Nick? Because I don't show anybody in the room. Dum, 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 dum. Yep. Yeah, see, it's weird, Nick. You're here, but I'm looking up at the top. Um, I'm using Chrome now. And like I said, I wiped the hard drive a couple weeks ago. Uh, so we shouldn't have a problem. Uh, silly if nobody else comes, but I don't care. Wait do you see some of the things I have. And let's begin, even though we haven't started yet. See the difference when you use a silver dollar? Um, I think I have in here, and I do, an Abbott's palming coin, which was 50-cent piece sized. Any questions? Now, I know if you're a kid doing magic, this is cheaper and probably easier to manipulate. But if you're a grown up, let's be honest, you can see this a much better. And I got to tell you, things like the purse palm are easier with a silver dollar once you're an adult. Calling all stations, clear the air lanes, clear all air lanes for the big broadcast. Tonight on Svengoolie, Fiend Without a Face. Ooh, was that a ooey movie when I was a kid? For most of the movie, the monsters and it's a 50s movie, so they're created by radiation. The monsters are invisible. In the last 10 minutes, because of what they're doing to try to get rid of the radiation source, uh, they show up and then they start killing them. And uh, I won't say any more, no spoilers, but record it or something. It's pretty cool. Okay, basically, I want to talk about coins a bit today, especially in light of what we know. Uh, and I know you've got the DVD, you and Sam, so you can see what I'm talking about. I would love to find the silk men's handkerchief he uses. I mean, these are wonderful, and you get them through Penguin until they're all gone. I imagine most people wouldn't buy them because they're so expensive. But I went on Amazon and looked up and down, and I couldn't find what he had at all. Uh, but my point is, and they're around here too. These, this is a track coin, is darn close to the same size. Well, no, I lied to you. It's an infinitesimal amount bigger. And as I told you, all you do is take one of these, glue them together, and you've got what you need. Now, yes, if you have one of these, this is amazing because you would swear this is one coin. Yeah, the truth is, no, it's not. Kind of impressive, isn't it? Yet, now we're back to one coin. And these are micro thin and magnetic. And the top one is heads. You have to put them in such a way there. That's a head. That's a tail. I think the other ones are tails. And was not cheap. And I suppose if I was doing the Chavez kind of stuff, that would be pretty amazing. It's going to get sold. When am I doing that kind of crap again? Oh boy. You know, Nick, if these Saturdays are just going to be me and you, or me and one other person and you, I'm beginning to think, why don't we Zoom this? Then I can hear you, you can hear me, you can immediately ask a question. It seems silly to do it like this. I'm going to pay attention to how many views this gets over the week. And if it's as small as I suspect, I think we're going to look into Zoom, Zoom, Zoom. Okay, now, earlier, I got to clean all of these. I just got a box, well, a bag full of white t-shirt rags. And the idea is I'm going to clean everything up. I've got all sorts of things. I'm going to clean up the cups. Okay, now where the heck is it? There it is. But you talked about the hand pen ching. And hand pen ching was known for the pennies. And basically, he showed two pennies at the tips of his fingers. And then he pushed this penny down his hand, and he pushed this penny down his hand. And then he closed his hands. And this penny was gone. And both pennies were over here. And the reason why it worked, now there's a penny. See what inflation does to a country. He did what we now call the hand pen ching move. And all it is your baby finger clips the coin like that. And when I come over here and push this coin, or here, we'll put the silver one, over here. Boom. Now, actually, that should be another penny. But in this size, when this is going on, I get the penny in position. So when I come over here, okay, I push that right down. See, I'm trying to get my hands up enough so you can see to here. And then when I turn my hand over, I push the penny down. Oh, then these are heavy and dirty and all that stuff. When I close my hand, there's a click. And when you look in the hand, there's the silver and the copper coin. Now, you're probably wondering, wait a minute. Well, Nick, my dear friend, this Eisenhower silver dollar has a jumbo penny on the back. So rather than using a 50-cent piece, and when I'm strolling, nobody has to touch a thing, I just put these in the pocket. Now, what I usually do is then I go into Psycho Changeo. And Psycho Changeo is Roy Kissel's handling of the classic copper silver transposition. Now, it's really very simple, but you have to have kind of an outward personality. Because if the person you're using decides to screw around, they can mess the trick up. So, but then I'll show you my way of handling the whole thing. You want to get rid of this copper silver coin. So as you're talking to that, you've just done the trick. Ta-da! You take the coins as you're talking and you start to put this one away. And if they want to see them, examine them, do something else, you change your mind. Now, in reality, you let go of that one and you pick up two of these. You finger palm one and you show this one. And you say, oh, I'm sorry. There. Did you want to examine those? Now, when they do, and this is basically a Bobo switch eventually. I'm going to have to stand up so you can see this, Nick. I see two names. If you're in here, say hello. You know the rules. Now, I want the audience to believe I only have two coins, but I got a coin over here. So what I do when I toss the coins into this hand, I'm going to thumb pinch the silver coin. And there's the two coins. And I always move the silver coin, and you can hear it hit, so you can do that. And when you're ready, you tell the person to put their hand out in front of them like that. And then you do this. Now, also notice I'm hitting the coin to make sure I get a good sound. Hang on, because see, I'm looking to make sure this is on the screen, and then I don't know then I can't see if my hands are lined up. It's really see, this may be easier in a Zoom meeting. Come on, I see two people are here. Are you hiding? I can find you. Okay, so I do that. Now, I have to sit down. What you actually did that last time is you didn't throw the copper coin, you threw the silver. So now you have two silver coins in this hand. Now, their hand is out like this. You're going to take this hand and put it in their hand like this. See how they can't see? And tell them to close their fist so nobody can see the coins. And you just let them close their hand and take your hand out when it's closed. Now remember, they think they've got copper and silver. They've got two silver, and you have a copper in this hand, finger palmed, and drop that hand to your sides. So they have done this, and they do this. And you say that way, nobody knows what hand has what coin in it. And then you say, put one coin in each hand. Now, don't be a turkey and put two in one hand. One coin in each hand. Now, see, because you don't want somebody who's trying to mess you up. And then you say, okay, I am going to attempt a mind reading stunt. I'm going to tell you what hand has the silver coin in it. You can't lose. So you're like this. And remember, you've got this finger palmed. And now you bring it into play. And you point. See how you can't see because I closed the hand palm. That hand has the silver coin in it. And when they open their hand, ping, ping, oh, look, there it is. Now, and all these moves are in modern coin magic. You're about to do a thumb switch. So that, kaboom, you pick up the silver coin and you say, if I have the silver coin, now get ready, here it comes. All I'm going to do is drop the silver coin down and grab it just with my thumb. Now, yes, if you're using 50-cent pieces, it's a lot easier, but it can be done. You grab that. I got to clean these up. It's got gunk on it or something. You grab that in the crotch of your thumb and you push the copper coin up to your fingers, but you don't show it. And you say, if the silver coin is here and you do the move, what coin is here? And now their fist is like this. And they're going to say the copper coin. And you say, no. Now, remember, you did that. You're just going to place your hand like this. And you're going to say, look, copper coin is there. And then this is on their hand, not yours. And then you take this hand and hold so the coin doesn't fall, and you move it there, and you can just lightly get rid of that one. And you say, pick it up, open your hand. And the silver coin is in there. And it absolutely kills. Now, as Any questions, guys? As I was teaching that, there's a third phase I used to do when I was using 50-cent pieces. I've never tried this with silver dollars, but I'm about to. Anybody? No is an answer too. Any questions? All right. Hopefully this will work and you can hear it. You get one wonderful ring with 50-cent pieces in it, English penny, because the big penny here isn't copper, it's an alloy. It may not work. It's not as good as the 50-cent pieces. You get a wonderful ting ting sound. Now, what you do, gosh, this just came to me, and I haven't done this in a million years. Okay, now I remember. Took me a minute. So you got the two coins, ting ting, ting ting. And you put the coins, one coin supposedly in each hand. In reality, what I do is I take the two coins and I'm still stuck on the first part. See, this is why this should have been done 10 years ago. I'm going to do the last part. We're going to have to fool with the front part. Somehow they think there's a coin in this hand, but in reality, they're both in this hand. And you're showing the silver coin and saying the copper coin is here. And then, just like we did for Psycho Changeo, I'm going to move that into the thumb palm, and that's hard with a silver dollar. And I'm going to do this, and that's the copper. Now, because I don't want the copper coin to fall, this load is spectacular. You put your finger here, and you're going to do this. But as you're doing that, you drop the other coin into this hand. I'll figure out the opening part, but that's the finish for me, because you're ending clean. And for the most part, they're just looking. And if they've got barbecue sauce on their hand, you don't care. But those are some wonderful things with coins. And the biggest part is, and again, you can use 50-cent pieces. You're going to be close to them. If I was on a stage, no. Oh, and I got one of these too. This is an expanded shell for the silver dollar, Eisenhower dollar. If I'm on stage, I'm using these. 50-cent pieces are just too small. But I like the idea You do it and you're clean. Now, if you're really concerned about their dirty hands, do the Chinatown hat. You can still get those made by Tango. You can find them on the Tango website. You can find them on Amazon. They're about 35 bucks. You start clean, you end clean, and the coin they hold on to, you put a gentleman's pocket handkerchief in their hand first, so nothing's getting dirty. But those are the coins for the day. Any questions? Oh, what? Before anybody spends the large amount of money a Bendix Bombshell wallet would cost, although I'm about to educate you on what it is, there is a book out there. You can get it as a PDF file or a full book, and it's full of routines from various magicians that you do with a Bendix Bombshell. If you buy that book and you read through that book, you're going to want one. Now, this is an actual Bendix Bombshell from England. I don't know whether it was RAR or who did it. I know Dave Bendix came up with it. And this is his wallet. And unless I'm on stage, because I still think Patrick Page beats them all, and my version from Davenport's beats everybody else's. However, strolling, close up, you sit down, this can't be beat. And the routine I am about to teach you is Carol Fox's handling that he calls a better Bendix. Now, to begin, what is a Bendix Bombshell? Well, in truth, and I know it's black on black, it's hard to see. In truth, it is nothing more than a Himber wallet. I can open, or what they call a Z fold. I can open this side, or I can open this side. And if you got the Cameron Academy's version of the Himber wallet, man, you should, at least for the instructions, because they show how to handle this and really, not show what's happening. Now, basically, Carol does Tom Mullica's wallet routine, but with this wallet. The problem with the modern Mullica wallets, as far as I'm concerned, is they are too small. You almost have to use a bridge size, or what we used to call Fox Lake deck. I don't like using those. Nobody in the audience knows what that deck is. It immediately creates suspicion. They know what this is. This is what you should use. Now, Kissel used to kick my butt about that. Well, Carol uses Fox Lake. And I would say, Roy, I don't care who does it. If I use Fox Lake, they're all over the cards, whether they can or can't. They think there's something funny. If I use these, they don't. But if you do the Mullica card and wallet move with these cards, with a modern wallet, it's going to, the slightest slip, and they're going to see it's underneath the wallet and mess up everything. But if you look at the Bendix, it is much wider than the Mullica. So it hides the card being under there much better. Now, because it's a Mullica and you want to do Carol's routine, there's a couple of things. Hey, sweetie, Daddy loves you. You got to do. Now, there's no place in here for business cards. And I don't like that at all. I like what Patrick Page said. You've got that window ID thing. You got Mark Tripp Magic, unless you're not Mark Tripp, that you use your name. And they're all, give me one of your cards. I love that. Haven't figured out yet where I'm going to put the card. Probably over here somewhere. But remember, in this routine, they're going to see this side and they're going to see this side. So what I would do here in the back flap, I would get two $2 bills. You could use regular money, but the fact that the two, and I would get a 2 and a 1 or whatever, and put them in the back flap. So that when you open this up, you see a 2 and a 1. And you can say it's been a rough year. On this side, you also have a 2 and a 1. So it doesn't matter which side you open, they think it's the same side. Now, the other thing you want to do is you take any card out of your deck. You can use one of the cards. You can use a joker. It absolutely does not matter. In this case, I'm going to stick the ace of spades in there. Put that there. I'll hold it up in a second. I'm going to put this here. Now listen. You turn the ace of spades face down. You put it in the bottom flap. Adjust it so it's straight. But you pushed it that way as far as it will go. So you got the $2 bill, the $2 bill and the dollar bill, and you got a card down there. On this side, you have no such thing. Okay? Now, that goes in the pocket. Here. It doesn't matter because you're never going to palm. There is no palming involved. You're going to do this pretty much like a Mullica. So basically, what you do, so that could be anywhere. Put it in your back pocket. Put it in a coat pocket. Don't have a coat? Put it in a front pocket. It doesn't matter because that's not the load. Now, as I've taught a bazillion times, if there's other things you like, rock and roll. I should put lotion on. All you're going to do, as I've said, is you say that I use a Blackstone line. Christine, would you stop? You know you're going to crawl up on that stuff and knock them all on the floor. And then I got to pick them up. You say you'll notice that all the fronts of the cards are different. May as well close that door now, except on the back where they're all alike. It's quite a bit like a chorus line that way. And then if they get the joke, great. If they don't, obviously you've never seen a chorus line. Now, start overhand shuffling. Let some cards go by. And you say, anytime you wish, just say stop. If they wait a while, you say, before I run out of cards, you need to say stop. If they're idiots and they just don't say stop, You say, wonderful stuff. Thank you for your assistance. You pick the cards up and do it again. Because see, it doesn't matter what the card is. You're not forcing. So you say, we'll use you, and hopefully you'll be better at following directions. When they say stop, this card, you want me to keep going. Eventually they get a card and they take it to show it to their friends. Now, this is the King of Spades. You take the cards back. You say, show it around. Now, there's a horrible bad line. Show it to your friends. That won't take long. Don't do that. That's how you create hecklers. All you do, say stop again. And when they say stop, you say, you forgot the again. If they say stop again, you laugh. Very funny, very good. They put their card back, and as I've shown, you're just going to shuffle the rest of the cards, and my baby finger is on top of the card they selected. Now, this way, yeah, you can see that. But if this is below you and you're above me, you can't. When you square it up, and in most cases there will be a table, or you can't do part two. If there's no table, you just do part one until you can do part two. If there is a table, like I've said before, your fingers got the break. You take half of the card from the top, the rest of the cards from the top, and then the third pile. You got two piles here, one pile here, and their card will be on top of the deck. If there is no table, you grab half of the bottom stock, the rest of the bottom stock, it's called a double undercut, and their card is still on top of the deck. I will assume there's a table, so I'm just going to, and you turn your wrist, and you do this relatively quickly. I know you couldn't see it, because you want them to think you're just cutting. Now, that's on top. You get ready for the double lift by saying, would it be a good trick if after all that, your card, and you touch him with it, your card, now you put it back. While you were doing this, you got your baby finger under the top card. Just push it over, push it back, and your baby finger's there. Would it be a good trick if this card was the card you selected? No matter what they say, hopefully they'll say yes. You say, I can't do it. And that's your double lift. I can't do it. Shrug your shoulders. Can't do it. But it would be a good trick. Now, when I did that, I turned the cards over. Would be a good trick. That's not it either. Oh, boy. Well, there is one trick I could do. Now, watch. Their card is on top of the deck. Right hand, if the cards are in the left hand, you need the right hand to get the wallet. If it's in your right hand, you need your left hand to get the wallet. You bring out the wallet, making sure that this opening will be the blank. Other than that 1 and 2, there'll be no card on this side. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to put this wallet on top of the deck. See what I just did? And you're going to get the box and say, you take the box. Then I'm going to come over, and I'm going to turn this so you can see. I'm going to come over with this hand, and look what I did. You can't see that on this side, but I stole the top card. And I say, put those in the box. Now, they think you got rid of the cards. Now, because of the width, I can't imagine a way you can flash that card. Now, this is the part, because in the Mullica routine, you open the wallet, there's another wallet inside, you take that wallet out, and you give this one on the table, and you've transferred the card to that wallet. There's a slit in that wallet, and that's how you load. But with this, the card's underneath, you open the wallet, and of course, nothing's there. Underneath the wallet, when you open it up, you're going to switch hands with the card. So instead of being in the right hand under the wallet, it's in the left hand, and you moved it to this side. Why? Because the whole side is slit, because that's the Z fold. When you open it up, they're going to see nothing but the money. You can do a joke. Been a bad year. And you're going to turn the wallet this way. And then all you do, let me turn it so you can see. All you do is take the wallet and the card. Now, this is really stiff. I've never used this one. I'm going to have to break this in a little bit. Let me hold this here. What you're going to do, and I took it out like an idiot. Yeah, you may have to push forward with this thumb just to get it to buckle a bit. And now it goes right in. That's as far as you need to go. You don't have to completely load it. Then, zip, zip, zip. It was open. Stupid me. Zip, zip, zip. And you reach in. Now, you want to make sure you don't mess up what you've got, the other card you have in there. And all you do is, and there's their card. You zip this closed. Now remember, you got the other side. You take their card. You put it in the bottom flap. Notice that it is straight. And notice it's all the way as far as it can go. And you say, that's where it was supposed to go. And you now watch how we do this. This side, you turn to this side. So it's that. You don't do this. That's wrong. Right here to here. And then you gesture. Take the cards out of the box. Now, you don't need a table if you've got people helping. Are you ready for the evil part? Spread out the cards in your hand. You open the wallet. Still have a 1 and a 2. Cards right there. You take the card. Remember when we started? And we put that in the cards in their hands. Shuffle them up. See how I did that again? And you can hand the wallet to somebody. Really shuffle them. Put them back in the box. Keep them. Then you show your hands empty, clap, clap, take the wallet back, and you say, now what was supposed, you think so, Nick? Then you say, you all saw it, you did it, I didn't touch nothing in my hands, and you just open. Notice that when we do that, you open the wallet the same way every time. And then you say, you take it out of there. Now, yeah, if you're strolling, you do have a 2-second reset. You got to put a card back on the other side. But I'm going to tell you, and I have messed with all of them. Right off the bat, I am not fond of palming the card. There's just too many ways you can get caught. Unless you're sitting down in a magic castle kind of conditions. That, like I said, if you can't do part two, you do part one and then stroll on, and there is no reset. The second you do part two, years ago, before I was married, although I was still dating Laura, we did a riverboat thing for the Freedom Festival because Michigan and Canada did it together, and it was their fireworks and things. And I'm on this riverboat, did a lot of strolling. And then towards the end of the evening, after the fireworks, I sat down and they all came into the parlor and I did sit down. That was the last trick I did. Got audible gasps, as you know. Now, your problem is nobody makes them. Other people, if you look at the Tragic Cafe or different things, they recommend something else, but the links don't work anymore. And they say it's much better than a Bendix. It's a Bendix on steroids. No idea. I haven't seen one. A couple of people have this wallet. I would get the book, I would get the wallet, and I just showed you one routine out of that book. There's dozens more. This is the one I would get. Any questions? The routine is called A Better Bendix. And I'm the one, when Carol was writing Abracafox, and we were not estranged at that point, and he was working out the details of the Bendix Bombshell. I showed up with two $2 bills, one $1 bill, brand new and crisp. I said, give me the wallet, put them in place, and said, now do the routine. And Carol went crazy. Oh, Tripper, look at that. There's no way, nothing. That's the exact same wallet, the exact same size. Okay, we've got about 13 minutes left. So I want to tell a story that Jerry Lewis once said. I'm not sure where he said it. I think he said it on the Phil Donahue show, but I'm not sure. Now, with Jerry, as you should know, not every story he told was the whole story or necessarily truthful. So you have to be careful. Oh, P.S. You know what these are, Nick? And as you can see, man, I got a bunch of them. These are dead credit cards. They all have my name on them. This is an ATM card from Citizens Bank. This is an Aspen MasterCard. This is an Orchard Bank MasterCard. This is a Capital One Visa. Now, it doesn't work with the Bendix Bombshell. But in my Patrick Page wallet, I put these in the slots. So it looks like I'm using the wallet. I wanted to get that out of there. Okay. But we'll call this an apocryphal story, meaning we don't know if it's true or not. According to Jerry, now we know this part is true, there was a secret entrance into John F. Kennedy's White House. And there was, because that's how they brought the girls in, not just Marilyn. Sam Giancana, the big mafioso out of Chicago, kept John F. Kennedy's supplied. And Kennedy never figured out that those girls that he was doing those things with were in Giancana's employ and told Giancana everything that the president did, said, whatever. So we know there was a way in. And Jerry says in this story that he used to visit the president a few times using that secret entrance. And one night they were having drinks and telling tales. And John Fitzgerald Kennedy, now listen to your old Uncle Mark, said something critically important. What he said was, Jerry, in your act, whatever you do, don't go political. Don't do a political joke. Don't lean one way or the other. You stand right up, straight and tall. And according to Jerry, his next line was, Jerry, it doesn't matter which way you lean. You just lost the other side. You just cut your audience in half. Now, that's the story. And we'll accept it as it is. We're not 60 Minutes. We're not Scopes or Snopes or whatever it is. We'll accept that as face value. Now, the truth is, and we'll use late night television as an example, they didn't follow that advice. When Trump got elected, they all went to the left, all of them. In point of fact, CBS hired Colbert specifically to attack Trump nightly. He was the anti-conservative. Every joke was about Republicans and conservatives. And if you tried to pay attention, I did for a while, every single show was, Trump's an idiot. Ha ha ha! And that joke gets old. When, oh gosh, the actor in the mafia movies, Deer Hunter, Robert De Niro, on one of the award shows, and he said it, they didn't bleep it. He said the whole word. He said, F Trump. And they all gave him a standing ovation. And then they wondered why the ratings are where they are. But I have a more important thing to tell you. Who's the king of late night now? It's Greg Gutfeld. The ratings for his 11 o'clock show are through the roof. Why? Because he makes fun of the untouchables. When Jimmy Fallon came on the Tonight Show, I know somebody who writes for the Tonight Show. Wrote when, oh gosh, gray hair, I'm looking right. Jay Leno was there. When the intermediate guy was there, when Jay Leno came back, he's written for the show. When the new guy came in, they all got an email. All the writers. Any joke about Hillary or Democrats will not make it on the air. Do not do jokes about those people. However, jokes about conservatives, Republicans, and especially Trump will get on the air. So it's been gone for like 4 years. Now Gutfeld comes on and he's hysterical. But he goes after the sacred cows. And everybody's there. Why did I tell you all that? Because I want to tell you this. Right now, there's a really big mess over Gay Pride Month. The issue about the IBM and SAM logo and putting the pride flag on there. all that sort of thing. I'm going to remind you what Jerry Lewis said Kennedy told him. Yeah, you could say, how would you guys act if Christmas time, the IBM logo now behind it had a star on the top and a manger down here? Oh my God, they'd freak. They would go insane. Don't say that. That is what we call the third rail. And if you don't know what that is, you ride the subway, it's an electric train. That third rail has current in it. You touch it, you fry. Don't do that. Don't say anything. It's like going political. You say anything. Just don't go there. Now, yes, sidebar. I've been a big time DC Infinity member because after when the comic books hit the stores, 3 months later, I get to read all those comic books for free. I don't have to go to the comic book store. I don't have to have all that stuff around the house. And it's been great till DC has gone through this stupid woke phase. And I mean, Wonder Woman is not the princess anymore, and her mother isn't the queen. It's now Nubia. And of course, Nubia is black. And I wouldn't care, but she's not a very good character. It's like Spider-Man Homecoming or that new Spider-Man, where they changed Mary Jane to be a woman of color. I have no problem with that, except that Mary Jane, the character, is supposed to be a supermodel and on Broadway. And I'm sorry, but the nice young lady they hired does not fit that bill, and it messes up a true fan's appreciation of what they're doing. It's not racism. That's not the character. Because in Daredevil, whoa, what a bad movie, Kingpin was played by someone who is black. Kingpin is not black. However, this guy was a great Kingpin. It didn't matter because he was big and tough and scary. And that's what Kingpin's supposed to be. Don't go there. I will not renew my DC membership. I'm seeing way too many guys swapping spit so they can do their virtue signaling. I'm not interested. Go away. But I'm not going to proclaim this. I'm not going to say, I don't want to see that flag. Just don't look. I don't support that parade. Don't go. You are a professional entertainer. Audiences are your bread and butter. Leave it alone, or your career could end up like mine. That's it. That's our show for the week. I've got to clean up and eat, and I got to go all the way 2.5 hours west of Kalamazoo and Battle Creek and do a show and puppets and all sorts of things, and then come home. But, as I always say, turn blue, scratch glass, but don't get caught. And I'll talk to you later.